It was comfy.
As long as everyone's comfy.
And then I thought, why don't I sit like this all the time?
We should be uncomfortable. Be on edge.
Just make sure we're.
Can y'all like tie me in a
speak towards
position
the mic.
where I'm in pain?
What? I gotta. I'm gonna. Keep this up on you.
Two, one.
Welcome to Mind Mode!
Ooh! Hope that theme music got you in the mood for the holidays.
Michael, always a jokester.
Oh my god.
Welcome to Mind Mode.
We got your hosts, the typical ones.
The same hosts.
We're here again in my apartment. Matthew, my apartment. Oh, you know,
Stanlin, I'm
and
here.
Michael.
all three of us are here.
Before we get started here, remember to shoot us a quick email at
Oh, please!
mindmodepodcast@gmail.com.
No one has sent us an
We're
email.
out
No
of
email.
we're out of funding.
If you don't send us an email, we will cancel the cast.
Cast
If no one
canceled.
sends us an email, we will cancel the cast.
Cast canceled. What are you gonna listen to on your commute? So, Mind Motors.
Radio
First
Live.
of all, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
This is a Christmas episode.
Happy Halloween. Happy New Year.
This
Get
is-
them out of the way.
Yeah, this is an all holiday special.
Pan
All in
holiday.
one?
They say you're supposed to say happy holidays now because it's
Yeah, you don't know which ones.
Christmas, Halloween, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Hanukkah,
Hanukkah.
Ramadan,
Yeah,
I do both.
Kwanzaa.
I do both.
I do all of them.
Christmas and Hanukkah overlap very well.
I feel like-
you said that like it was a joke, but it's just they
I feel
do.
like Hanukkah would be a much bigger pain to do than Christmas.
Why?
Yeah, well,
What's
Because it's just like a long, like, don't you have to get a gift for every day?
you get a gift every day.
That's
well,
like-
it's like an advent calendar.
How many days?
Yeah, no one does. Who does an advent?
Yeah, but
Neopets.
those are some 8 crazy nights, Stan.
Is it? You just ask how many, but you know because of Adam Sandler.
8
you
crazy
just revealed.
nights. I learned everything I know about Hanukkah from Adam Sandler's.
Yeah, from the
Movie.
scene where he takes his shirt off and he's jacked and good at basketball.
That's in the movie.
Don't.
As he looks in real life.
I haven't seen it either.
So this is a Christmas cast. I want to go out on a limb here. People say Christmas spirit is in the air. Christmas spirit's in the air. People are giving out gifts. Santa's ringing his bell for the Salvation Army collector's tin. But we know what it's about,
That's
people.
when you know it's Christmas, when you see that collector's tin.
It doesn't matter what age you are.
It's about
5,
JC.
15, 25, 35, 60 years old.
31.
It's about the presents, baby. What's the haul going to be like this year?
The hall? It's
What are y'all
gonna be
asking for
decked.
Christmas?
I never get anything. I get one gift.
Uh-huh.
It's usually like clothes.
A crisp $100 bill.
100 is asking a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot. $100.
I get $100 every year.
I get $100,
Exactly.
but they're $101 bills. My parents are like, ooh,
They hide
stocking's
around
full
hide
over
around
there.
the house.
Ooh, what's
My
in that
parents-
stocking?
My parents used to hide gifts around the house. Or not around the house. They would hide one gift. It was usually like the biggest gift when we were little kids.
Uh-huh.
They would leave like a scavenger hunt with clues where we would like go find the next
That's
clue.
cool.
So like
And then-
Easter.
Who does that?
I guess
for
if you
Easter?
do that on Easter.
What?
But then
Blending the
I
holidays.
feel like it always ended up the present was in the garage because it was big, but we didn't just go straight there.
It was always in the garage?
I feel like I remember it multiple times being in the
Oh.
garage. But one time it was in the backyard.
My parents used
That's
to
cool.
put a giant plate of veggies on the kitchen table. Be
Oof.
like, can't have your presents till you eat your greens.
Are you
Oh
kidding me?
my.
Is this
Yeah,
real?
I'm kidding. None of this
Oh,
happened.
Okay.
I used to
That
Well,
would
that's
be-
like people do that with like, oh, some for the reindeer,
oh,
carrots for the reindeer.
my parents
Cookies
at one
for
point
Santa.
like they took carrots, like long carrots, like the big actual carrots, and like left them out for the reindeer. And before my sister and I woke up, like nibbled on them
Yeah.
like a reindeer
Yeah.
did, and I totally bought it. I'm like, holy shit! How'd they get in here? One
Wow,
time,
that's elaborate.
our parents bought me a tent. I was a Boy Scout, and I came downstairs, and there was just a tent set up in the living room.
That's
And I was
awesome.
like, "It's the fucking best."
I hope it's,
There was no tricking because our tradition.
you didn't trick or treat on Christmas.
Yeah, there was no trick or treating.
Yeah, I didn't
There's
do that
no.
either.
There was
Oh,
no.
there was no Santa.
Santa trick because Santa literally shows up.
Yeah.
We wait the 24th
Uh-huh.
till midnight, and then Santa, a brown person, like clearly an uncle, like someone we know, shows up as Santa. So there's no trick.
That rules.
It's just
But did you
like-
know it was your
What?
uncle at the time, or
I
did
mean,
you buy
when
into
we were
it?
when you're really young,
Yeah.
Why is there no
don't.
trick?
Which is so crazy because that we see Santa as this
The
like
image.
you know
Yeah.
white.
No, I
Fat
don't. Wait. Back
guy.
up for a second. I don't get it. What gave it away?
He's a brown uncle with an Indian accent.
Well, so Santa. Wow. Okay. Well,
It's just
What are
I've
the-
heard it all.
no, but it works. Like
Uh-huh.
I don't understand how we didn't discern that.
Bought
Like
it.
this is
Because
isn't right.
I wanted to buy into
Something's
Santa.
off.
I bought into it. I just
Kids
stopped believing
wanna
in Santa
believe.
Claus.
Yeah. No,
I
you
just
do.
wanna believe.
You definitely. I mean, I'm pretty. At least for me, like I believed long.
longer than you.
There was clearly.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't
It
real.
was fun to believe in.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was like,
And then
Hey.
I'm like, it's a spirit. It's actually real because of the thought.
Oh.
see, I stopped
Keep that.
believing.
Hey, put a pin in that for later.
My
Spoilers.
21st birthday gift, my parents told me Santa Claus isn't real,
Yeah.
and I went, oh shit, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Are y'all buying the presents? Okay.
Hey, play this
Learn
one for
something
your
every
kids,
day.
everybody. If you got kids, play this episode for them early.
So speaking of presents, I've got
Thank you.
I've got a present for the host, the other hosts on this cast. So we're gathered around a mic right now.
Yeah, it's sort of like the fire.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a hearth, a fire.
A
You're
Yule
sitting
log.
at home. This is a family cast, as we've said. You're probably lazing about on the couch.
Yeah.
You turn whatever
Get up, you big
Hollywood
plug.
flick you have on, and you downloaded that new episode of Mind Mode. You listen to this with your family, your
Yeah.
infants, your grandmother.
Don't
your
do
aunts.
this, but yeah, this is yeah.
You're gathered around the hearth. So when you're gathered around the hearth, what do you need? What do you usually make?
Eggnog.
Using some
Marshmallow.
marshmallows and
S'more.
you make some s'mores, baby.
Are you serious? This is the first thing I was gonna guess. You got
We got Shiner S'more Brew.
Shinerbach beer
That
s'more.
S'more.
Sounds bad.
This
Just
sounds
let
good
me
to
just.
me. All right, so we're passing these
This
around.
sounds. How?
This is clever. Toasting 110 years of Shiner. We
So-
got chocolate and marshmallow ale. Shiner
Chocolate and
s'more.
marshmallow ale. So those listeners are out of the state, out of the country. Shiner is
Oh.
Pass the.
Is it the biggest brewery in Texas?
I mean, Budweiser is here, so probably not, but
Oh, yeah.
it's possible.
The biggest brewery that makes good beer.
Oh,
zing!
Could be.
I think Shiner's twist off.
Oh yeah, it's a twist off. Oh wow, this smells like a s'more.
Oh, interesting.
So,
This is good.
well, I thought we were all, gonna.
What?
They'll just start sipping.
What are we
Alcohol. It was just, oh,
I smelled it first. What else am I supposed to do?
smells like
It smells kind of like burned, like something.
Burnt marshmallows. It's classic.
Yeah.
You got to burn the marshmallow.
I guess so.
That tastes really good. I'm not.
that's
gonna
pretty
lie.
good. Wow,
This is our most articulate take yet.
satisfy
Wow.
your beer tooth. So
So Michael, thank
We're-
you for this gift.
we're crowded around the campfire, the
We're-
microphone.
Before we get to our main topic today, we're each going to present a gift. So this is Michael's gift to
Oh
all
crap!
of us.
I didn't know that.
Well, you have a gift too. You said.
do?
Or Michael, was there some other?
Uh,
No. Okay, so Stanley had.
I want to say. Hey, let me know. Let me know later in the podcast if you want some more. Boom.
S'more.
Okay,
Yeah,
go,
just one.
go ahead.
This is so strange. This
So-
flavor is like
So
It really tastes a lot like a s'more.
Yeah.
Stanley gave me a look of like, oh god, this is the present. This is what you're getting me, and now
No, it
the
wasn't
bottle
that.
is almost empty.
Stanley just chugged his bottle. He's actually
It's not bad.
He's
It's
shotgunned
not
a
bad.
glass bottle of beer.
It's always odd to me whenever anything.
Tastes like another thing.
Yes, like it's.
Have we talked about this before on the
I don't
cast? No, I don't think we have. But
It's just
Yeah.
It's just off-putting.
when things taste like other things,
It's like
Yeah.
an apple tastes like a fruit.
I disagree. I think it tastes
It's
good.
weird to me
It
every
is.
time.
It is good. It's good.
So, Stanley, you said you had a gift of a story, an anecdote,
Not really an
an
anecdote.
experience.
It was just.
So,
Um,
for some context here, maybe give some world building. Today or yesterday, Elon Musk finally unveiled his big tunnel project in LA.
Really? This is real?
Yeah, his
Okay.
Hyperloop tunnel, which was supposed to be like these rail cars that would go like 150 miles an hour in an underground tunnel that he built.
Okay.
Well, he built the tunnel,
Really?
yes,
Okay.
but for the trial run, so they didn't make the fast cars yet. So what they had down there instead was regular Teslas with some like guide rail wheels on the side, just kind of driving in this like not really smooth road
Okay.
that they built in this tunnel with I think NASCAR drivers driving the cars.
What?
And the cars were going between 35 to like 50 miles an hour. So, not quite the speeds.
Okay.
So with that in mind, Stanley, you've had a recent experience.
Well, yeah, my dad ordered a Tesla. I didn't know this. I just got back to Houston. I was driving from Dallas, and I just got back, and my dad got his Tesla today.
Uh-huh. In the
And
mail.
yeah, essentially, I mean, he ordered it online, and some dude. It was so weird. Like it was supposed
He
to arrive.
ordered it online?
Yeah, that's how you. There's no dealership with Tesla. There's no.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a
just-
store in the mall.
Oh, there is.
There is.
Okay.
In the Galleria, there's a Tesla store.
What is there?
A car.
There's actually a car in there.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So they
It's so
drive it on a
weird.
truck to your house?
No.
He drove it.
No,
there.
some person drove the car.
That puts
Yeah.
miles on the vehicle.
I guess so.
That's fucked up.
I don't know.
I'd rather drive it off the lot.
There's no lot. Like
So
to drive
wait,
it off of.
Was
So-
he able to test drive it at any point, or
No. You just get it. That's it.
That's trust in
Yeah,
what
it's
you're
like.
purchasing.
I mean, it's such a different vehicle. Like it is so. It's the future.
Mhm.
Like that's how you feel when you're.
It doesn't
sitting
feel
in it.
like a regular car.
It doesn't drive like a regular car. It doesn't. None of the.
It doesn't have any of the functions you want in a car.
It has the functions. Well, that's kind of what why the experience was weird is that.
Well, you have
Because-
a fucking movie screen sized
Yeah,
iPad in there.
exactly,
for one
'cause
thing.
What's
everything
the
is-
point of that?
I don't know.
Everything is electronic.
Mhm.
So the like in regular cars you have like the gear shift.
Yeah.
That is, but it's a real gear shift because you're actually shifting the gears. Like it's
Even if it's yeah.
Yeah.
it's not. But
Even
on the
an
Tesla,
automatic
it's
or
just a button
Ew.
essentially. It's not. No, it has like a gear shifter, but it's
Okay.
not. It doesn't have that feeling
It's like
of like.
digital. It's not.
Yeah, it's
there's
like
nothing
electronic.
analog about it.
There's no
Yeah.
analog anything in that car,
Huh.
and so the experience I had when driving it was like, I do not feel connected to this
Yeah.
vehicle in that way. Like I am in control. I can tell there's like this separation. Something
Right.
is.
So you drove it.
Yeah, I drove it for a little bit.
Have you ever driven a hybrid?
Yeah, a really old one.
Okay.
Like
Was
wasn't
it-
a Prius.
Was there any similarity there? Because
a
my mom,
little?
my mom used to have a hybrid, and I noticed whenever I drove it, it felt like I was like driving a toy car almost.
Exactly.
Just because
They do
there's
feel
no,
weird.
like you underestimate how much the like feeling of the engine going in the car affects the experience of
Yeah.
like turning the wheel and stepping on the
and
pedal.
that feeling is completely gone. Like even when you let go of like the acceleration on this Tesla, the car just like stops. There's no like rolling.
Oh, really?
So it kind of just like jolts. It's like really odd.
Huh.
Yeah, it's really odd.
Is it like auto brake?
It's not. It just doesn't have. I don't know how to explain it.
As much of a kick as an engine.
It just doesn't have that rolling of like you let go and it's still kind of like the engine is still going. It's just kind of like it's like it just like.
Is that because it weighs less? Or is there less inertia?
I think just because of the way it operates, it's not a
it's computers.
gas engine. Yeah, and it's operated with but it was just so I just felt so removed from. I mean, I honestly didn't enjoy it because it didn't feel.
But did you do?
I don't know.
It
didn't feel like I was connected to.
Did you use insane mode? Is that a real thing?
What?
I saw it on Silicon Valley.
I think you're thinking of sicko mode.
I was gonna make that joke.
Clear the room, baby.
I don't know what insane Dinesh gets a Tesla in Silicon Valley, and there's like an insane mode.
Is it a joke though? Or is
I don't.
it real?
I mean, there's like sport mode in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Regular cars.
Yeah, sport cars.
No, there's sport mode and like comfort mode.
But there's no insane mode.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I feel like they would have a hard time. You know what? They could, if anyone could put insane mode in a car.
Yeah, but it was just such a radically different way to get a car.
Yeah.
And the way it is, the way it drives, all the peripherals, everything is just like.
It sounds like every aspect of it was just like untethered from the experience of
a car.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought how crazy like an engine-driven car is, or a gas-powered car? Like how much combustion is occurring with like every rotation, and just the fact that I don't know, man. Like the idea of like how an engine is operating, I'm like, if I saw that thing working on its own, I could never drive a car again. It was just like
the sausage.
The cylinders. I don't know.
Speaking of combustion, though, be careful, because I did also see a news story where Tesla spontaneously caught fire.
Oh, God.
They took it to a shop, and then it caught fire again like 6 hours later. So...
It's kind of like a Samsung phone.
It is a crazy good-looking car, though.
Mm-hmm.
That car looks so good.
That's what your dad needs.
I think
I feel like they look kind of like lumpy and...
I mean, this one I thought
maybe
really
I haven't
cool.
seen one in a while. I
Lumpy.
guess.
This is the newer one.
Like Elon.
Okay, I don't know what you're gonna say, Michael. This is not that kind of podcast.
Anyway, it was crazy.
Stalin's gift to us.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so
thank you, Stanley.
You're welcome.
I can't wait to ride in your dad's Tesla.
Presumptuous as hell, but okay.
I mean, he said he was giving. Stanley said he was bringing. He was bringing a gift.
He'll get it to you for Christmas.
Yeah, you could have it for Christmas.
Hey, I ordered something today online. I didn't
Tesla?
get to test it out, so same thing. Anyways, Matthew, please.
Oh yeah, I have a gift. So this one's gonna require a little bit of group power. So I haven't really totally been able to get this to work yet. Hold on, Michael. We'll get there. So I think the three of our powers combined, we might be able to get this to work.
Yeah, all of our powers.
So we've talked about the Christmas spirit, the holiday spirit a little bit. I want to talk about a little bit of a different kind of spirit I've been experimenting with. So in our last episode, we sort of were stumbling onto some, occult doings.
Yeah.
With Brian Eno's oblique strategies.
Yes.
We got into a sort of a divinatory mode. So I want to try a little bit of a different method here. So to improve the podcast, I've noticed one thing other podcasts have is guests.
Okay.
And I don't want to invite another human guest in, so I've been experimenting with sort of creating a spiritual guest that we can summon into the podcast. Okay.
More the merrier.
So I bought this book. It's about Tulpa's thought forms, that sort of thing.
Not familiar.
Don't know what that is.
It's like you create a being with your mind.
Okay.
So
like a seance.
Sort of.
Doing a seance. Okay.
So I thought the ultimate form of going into mind mode would be to make a clone of myself
Shit.
in thought form.
Okay.
All right, so
But this is okay.
we're gonna have to summon it first.
But where does it in thought form is? Where is it existing? Where is the clone?
I guess it'll be somewhere in the room.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I want everyone to close their eyes.
Okay.
We're
Eyes
gonna-
are closed.
We're gonna say 3 big ohms,
Oh,
and
God.
then I want us to say at the same time, Matthew, the other one, join us. Okay. So 3 big ohms. Ready? 1. Om. 2. Om. 3. Matthew.
Oh shit, dude, that's
Stop. We need to summon him now.
Oh, yes.
Matthew, the other one, join us.
Matthew, the other one. Join us.
Hello. This is Matthew. I'm also here, over here, speaking from a different location.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so what do you guys think about that?
That was wild.
We got Matthew here.
Matthew.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
Oh.
I was not ready
Oh my
for
God,
that.
this is overwhelming.
Fuck.
If you want, you may ask me yes or no questions.
Okay, so the spirit
Wait.
says we can ask him yes or no questions. So
Alright.
I'll start off. So are you here to help us improve the podcast?
No.
Okay, well, that's not very helpful. Maybe we can ask him some other questions. What do you guys,
Let's see.
you guys got anything?
Who's the better Matthew?
It's
Yes or no questions?
No.
Are you the better Matthew?
Yes.
Well, okay, that's pretty rude.
That's really mean, dude.
What the hell? You've barely been on an episode. You're gonna come in here and say that kind of thing to us?
Matthew, would you like a
Yes.
I think he was answering my question. What was yours, Michael?
Would you like a s'mores beer?
No.
I guess he doesn't want one. I don't know why.
That's really rude. So
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's sort of like a gift. We're kind of all sharing here. Do you have something to share with us, like a gift?
No.
Okay, well,
Wow.
this thought form kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes or no questions is very limited.
No.
I don't think he agrees. Stanley, you haven't asked a question yet. I've noticed.
Mm.
You have anything for him?
Um,
Maybe something he could tell us from beyond.
Is there an afterlife?
Unfortunately, I must now be off.
Oh, he's gone. I don't see him anymore.
Oh my god, that was...
The
Alright,
most
so...
essential question.
I don't know if you guys could join us, but we just had a joint hallucination.
Crazy. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to recover from that.
I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep tonight.
Man,
That was,
that was wild.
and thank you guys because so far, I had barely got a word out of him when I was just trying to do this myself. So
He needs company.
He was kind of hard to talk to.
Yeah,
Not
didn't really have a
a
lot
lot of
to say.
not a lot of personality.
Yeah.
Hey, I cloned myself. I
Uh-huh.
sent my stuff into 23andMe.
Like your sperm?
that's what they asked for. That's disgusting.
I was
Man.
like, yeah, they were like, "Can you provide some genetic material, preferably?"
They just asked. They
The
just
most-
meant,
the-
they meant spit.
Saliva.
No.
Send
Listen up.
They were like, "Hey, we need
This is not enough.
we need sexual fluid."
Ew.
And I said, "I don't know how to get that." What?
Don't know how to get that.
I don't know how to get that.
Okay.
So before we get on to our main topic, there's one thing I want to bring up. I
Uh-huh.
forgot about this. I was reading a book today that discusses how old theories have kind of resurfaced in the new world, and pretty much just how
Like America.
that was that
Sorry.
way of putting it. Old ideas have surfaced in the modern world, and there was
Everyone
one.
buying. Sorry, go ahead.
There was one called Morphic Resonance, put forth by Rupert Sheldrake, who is a scientist. He's still alive and has come up with ideas, like, used to have like a reputable career as a scientist, and his ideas are so crazy
He's
now.
my
I should
kind of
say
guy.
crazy, experimental. That
Eccentric.
all
Out there.
other scientists pretty much want to have nothing to do with him. But just talking about an idea about how, in like a I can't pronounce this word. Teleological sense,
Mm-hmm.
the future can influence the past to become the future,
Mm-hmm.
or like the future is always influencing the past.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I envision myself 40 years old. I have a rocking body, billionaire.
It's true.
And I'm getting these hints that I'm like, Michael, you're gonna be fucking everything.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
fucking everything, is what you just said.
I'm gonna be 23 and me,
Mm-hmm.
21 forever, 18 in here when I'm 40 years old. So
18 in here.
I made that one up. So when I'm 40, I'm gonna be a billionaire. So I'm accruing all this debt. I'm
Yeah.
spending as
It
much
doesn't
as I
matter,
can.
'cause
I
you-
bought a. Hey, Stanlin's dad. I bought a Tesla
You've seen the
too.
future already.
So I just wanted to put that out there. What ways do you think your future is influencing you?
I wish you had told me you were going to talk about this.
I
because I
just-
actually have a lot to say about it, but I'm not prepared to speak on it at all.
We can get into it later. This
Well-
might be another cast.
There's another like eccentric guy that I follow who he's like some professor. I don't know what he teaches, but he talks a lot about this stuff, and he has all these theories about how like basically like consciousness is our brains like choosing different futures that they can see and all this weird bullcrap.
It kind of tied
Pretty
into
interesting, though.
I don't know. I thought of the game Inside when I was reading that.
Yeah.
Of
Oh,
how,
for sure.
Like the
That is what that game is sort of about.
yeah, I
secretly.
was reading a lot about it afterwards. There's also some theories about. I don't remember if it was him, but it was I don't want to get too much into the crazies because
let's go for
I
it.
need to read about this some more. But there's some like statistically significant experiments that
Oh, I know what you're
purport
talking
that
about.
dogs don't like actually can sense when their owner's coming home, not in like a distant way, but just I don't know.
Huh.
They just know.
That's interesting.
And the fact that they can, and like the way they're able to find their way home isn't necessarily
that instinct isn't based on like the senses. It's
yes,
like something
That we know.
else.
or just
Yeah.
it started talking about how like you know how you can kind of sense when like your alarm's gonna go off or
Yeah.
maybe like someone's gonna call you.
Yeah.
It was kind of delving into that same
Or
thing. Like
actually,
the future's kind of
related to our topic.
Which we should introduce today. We're talking about dreams. Dream. Dream.
Mr. Sandman.
All right, related to dreams. God, it's gone.
Hey, before we get
It was about dogs. Come on, no, we'll get you back there. We're
hold
talking
on,
about
before
dogs
we get there, I want to open up.
right.
I want to open up with a quote. Anakin
Menace.
Skywalker,
I
Episode
hate
1,
sand.
Phantom Menace.
Okay.
Now this is podcasting.
I definitely have listened to a podcast where they say that or play a clip saying that.
Yeah, well, we did it
It's-
better.
Okay.
Well, okay, crap. No, we should just forget it.
Okay.
We're talking about dreams.
You're probably in a dream right now listening to this.
I'm still in a dream. Snake Eater. we're blowing all the quotes we can use
Yeah,
for this episode's
shit.
description.
I got a
Okay.
lot.
Look. We're talking about dreams. So each of us are going to share, I guess.
Wait. Okay, what I was gonna
Stanley,
say.
say it. Get
What I was
this-
gonna say was there are dreams that you have where, like with the alarm clock, that the alarm clock goes off in your dream,
Right.
and immediately the alarm clock goes off, or whatever. Like that happens for like.
But you don't have like waking premonitions. Like I know my alarm clock is going to go off within like a minute of it going off.
Yeah, I mean,
When
I
you
think
wake up.
a sense.
But,
Some of
yeah.
that is just that we have more going on unconsciously than we.
Yeah, maybe it's just I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's more.
I mean,
instinctive than
have you
anything.
ever like forgotten to set your alarm and then you wake up like the second your alarm would have gone off
Yeah.
anyway?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
Just
happens.
I don't know, like circadian pattern. I don't know. I think
No, but I know
think
what
there's
you
more
mean.
to it than that. Or
Probably.
it's at least fun to think.
No, I agree. Okay, so
We don't know shit about the brain.
we don't really.
I know.
I
I got one.
one thing we especially don't know about is dreams.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really knows what they're for.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
I've been having some vivid ones recently.
Mm-hmm.
Vivid. Okay, so my dreams recently have gotten. I feel like they've narrowed down. So, I mean, I'm sure everyone has different things that are, like, common, reoccurring things that happen in their dreams. Like, for a long time, mine would be, like, wandering around big buildings or, like, shopping centers, theme parks. For some reason, it would always be those sort of, like, large, like, commercial structures. Recently, a lot more of my dreams have been structured like video games,
Yeah.
sort of. Or if not video games, then, like, haunted houses or, like, like sort of like escape rooms, but if escape rooms were like the coolest possible thing they could really be, and not just like doing a worksheet in a room in a strip mall or whatever. So for some reason that's become
So big spaces.
Well, no, that was the previous, right?
That was the previous thing, but this is so for some reason a lot of a lot of them harken back to kind of like Sleep No More a little bit, like this interactive theater experience. I mean, not exactly, but just in the sense that it's like a sequence of rooms where for some reason I know there's something I'm supposed to be solving, or there could be like a hidden passageway or something I'm trying to like move through. But also within the dream, it's always like fake. It's not like I'm really trying to do anything. Like if there's a ghost or something scary or something, I know it's like a prop.
Mm.
So. That's one kind of dream I have, and then, I mean, video games have always been a common thing in dreams, where I'll be playing like some fake Super Mario, and that's like the whole dream, or something like that. Recently, it's gotten to the point where, I think what sparked this topic was I texted the guys the other day, you guys.
Which guys?
Michael and Stanlin, the guys.
Okay, the guys. That's our text group name, by the way.
It's not, but it could be.
Sorry.
I texted you guys about this lucid dream I had where... So, I've had lucid dreams a few times. Usually just through the regular old, like, holding my nose and trying to breathe in method. You guys ever tried this?
Have not.
Have I told you about this?
No.
So this is when I first learned about lucid dreaming, and I never had one. This was the method I learned. So what you do is in your waking life, you make a habit, or just like it could be like whenever you see something strange or you feel like a little like something weird's going on, you hold your nose and try to breathe in through it. So you just like pinch your nose and try to breathe in, like.
Okay.
Or you just do it at random times during the day.
Oh, interesting.
And so, what this does is, if you get into the habit of it, eventually, when you're dreaming, you'll do it, where you will hold your nose, you'll think to do it, and try to breathe in, and you'll actually be able to breathe while holding your nose, like clearly through your nose, and that you'll know you're dreaming.
Wait, I don't... Because you're not actually doing it.
So how long did you have to do this for before...
It didn't actually take that long when I originally did it. I mean, I can't remember exactly. But, yeah, so you'll end up doing it in the dream where you, like... In the sense of the dream, you are holding your nose, but you're also experiencing the air traveling into your nose from real life, because you're actually breathing in real life. And then your brain's like, oh, okay, I'm dreaming.
That's weird.
And so from there, a few things could happen. You could just, like, not lucid dream. You could, like... Your dream could just, like, blank out because you're, like, too awake now or whatever. Or you could go into a lucid dream. Which is not exactly... I feel like lucid dreaming gets confused with the thing where you're able to, like, control everything in your dream.
Yeah.
And really what it is just, like, a dream state where... You can be in control, but the like more significant part is you feel like you're sensing everything. Everything feels like hyper real. Like your senses are like more active than they usually are in a dream. You feel like you're really seeing everything. It's like there's like, no other experience like it. It's like being awake in a dream.
Yeah, it's like consciousness. Like you're conscious within the dream.
Right. So. And the first one I ever had, the first thing I did was I was, like, in my parents' house, and I, like, I was going out the back door into the backyard, but I was like, wait, I'm dreaming. So instead of opening the door, I'm just gonna like phase through the door.
Yeah.
So the first thing I did was just like walk straight through a solid door.
Oh.
And then I was like, all right, I'm outside. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna fly around because it's the most fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And it feels awesome. You're just like really like flying around. It feels like you're really doing it. It's crazy. You can like
So were you
feel
like
the
actually
wind.
in your neighborhood, or?
It was almost like if you were like in a PS2 game where there's like a low draw distance, or you know,
Okay.
like Silent Hill or something where there's like a lot of fog around. So I couldn't like see everything in my neighborhood, but I could see like the pool in my backyard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like I just flew up in the air.
But do you ever? So I've done
That's
done
weird.
this.
Uh-huh.
I've lucid dreamt or whatever. But the problem that I run into often is that, and that I've kind of started correcting actually, is that
I still got
you
some.
can't do too much. Like or
You
I
can
can't
jog yourself awake on accident.
Yeah, you
That's
can
what I
like
do
you can like be like,
99%
oh, I'm
of the time.
dreaming, so I can do whatever I want. But then if you do that, or if you try to do that,
Yeah.
and if it doesn't work, then you're just like, okay, well,
Stuff will start
yeah.
like glitching at like quote
Yeah.
unquote glitching
It
out.
just
or
it just
it's like
it just stops making sense.
everything
And
gets
then
kind
just-
of like uncanny.
yeah.
and, doesn't-
And then also, I think what I used to do was I would try and like get it back,
yeah,
but then it just kind of like falls apart if you
which
if
is
you
what
try too much.
which is what happened with my lucid dream in this last week. So I did it was almost literally the same thing
This
where I
is
like
so
tried to
funny.
phase through the door. So first off, I tried to phase through a door and the door just like opened in front of me. So I was like, well, okay, this isn't right. But then I tried to fly, so I flew straight up in the air. I got the same like experience and everything, but then I looked down and it was like, if you've ever played like a first person video game and you've like glitched out of boundaries or like turned on like no clip mode and just like flown straight up in the air farther than you're supposed to, you know how like the sky will just like, you'll like look down and like the small like map you were on kind of like shrinks away into blackness and there's
Like
just like
those-
the sky around you.
Oh,
Glitches
yeah.
in Ocarina
Yeah.
of Time,
Or like, you know,
Mario,
like Halo doing those like Halo 2
Yeah.
doing those like super jumps where you go out of the map. So I'm flying up in the air and I look down and everything just like descends into blackness like that, like a video game. And I'm like, great, I'm still having these fucking video game dreams.
So you think, because like both of your lucid dreams you've described in like a video game fashion, which I
What
think
do
is
you mean?
interesting.
Oh,
like,
the PS2.
yeah, the PS like because
Well,
like how else would you even construct it? Because your
It
brain
was
can't
also-
like construct the city of Houston.
it was also just like, I think part of it was I dreamed, or in the first one when I started flying around, it was foggy or misty or whatever because it like felt interesting to be flying through that, to like feel the moisture on your skin and stuff.
Could that have been like your dream's excuse for not coming up for the rest of the city? I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, no, it definitely
Like,
could have been.
Just in terms of
yeah, there's definitely
There's
always
limits.
blank spots and like
because I think it's like legitimate. Like your
Yeah.
brain doesn't have unlimited processing power. Like
Definitely.
maybe it just couldn't construct the whole thing.
well, it's all. It's
I mean,
also
I don't
just-
have a good mental map of what that looks like either.
yeah.
And it's also just that part of that is your brain isn't it's not, you're not consciously constructing it. So you're not like, all right, here is Houston, here's where this building is, where this is. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like it's doing it.
Yeah.
Like you're not in control, and so it mixes things together that don't function, that don't make sense, and so
Yeah.
that it will never build the city of Houston because it's not.
I mean,
That's
if you
not the
try-
part of the brain
I
it's
don't know.
using. I don't think.
Right.
Like it's.
I guess.
I mean, because I'm sure.
I
we
bet it
all-
could. Bet it could do it.
I don't know.
Hey, you know how much wattage it takes to power the entire human brain and your entire neurocircuit?
No.
20 watts.
Is that a
That's
lot?
not bad.
No,
Okay.
it's very little. Very efficient circuitry in the body.
Good
Go
job.
continue.
Evolution.
Yeah. So I guess just to wrap up what I've been saying. So I've been having these dreams a lot where a lot of time it's weird. It'll be like a thing where I'm like exploring this big like mansion or something, and I know there's some kind of like mystery we're all supposed to be solving. There's always like other people milling around, and a lot of times it'll be like, oh, it ended, like our time's up, we're supposed to be leaving, there's like a closing ceremony, and I'm like, well, great, we didn't get to solve the whole thing, whatever. But so they feel very like level designy in a video game sense of like.
So how many dreams have you had like that where it's like?
I mean, at this point, like at least a half dozen, like.
So there's always like a problem that hasn't been solved.
In some abstract sense, it's never like something I'm like conscious of, but. It's very like it feels like
cool.
Objective based, and
because you like problem solving games a lot.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes it's weird. Like there's places that there's like spaces that have recurred in my dreams or like fake. There's like been like fake like Zelda games or like fake RuneScape cities from like various points in the past that I've like imagined, and I've like some of them I've seen more than once, or at least when I dreamt it. It felt like I'd been there before, whether or not I actually had.
That's an interesting phenomenon of like
where you feel like you're having a recurring dream, and it might be that you actually never had.
There've been multiple times where I've been like,
wait, let's back up a second. Can I talk about lucid dreaming for a second, and then we'll get right back to you.
Okay.
So all I wanted to say about lucid dreaming is that I think I've had like two, because I feel like we're moving away from it.
Oh no, we can get
like
back.
2 or 3 lucid dreams maybe in my life, and I've had one of them where you just fly around.
And
it was like the first thing I did. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I was like, let's twist off.
Oh yeah.
I was like 17 or something like that. It was like, wow, that was so cool. Like that was a brand new experience. I was totally, I don't know, creating the dream in my own sense, and then like. I had the lucid dream, or like you could spawn people. No. I could spawn things. I couldn't spawn people. I was trying to, because I read that in an article of like people who have trained their brains, like trade their lucid dreaming so they can have like
conversations with people.
Like conversations and like sex with celebrities that they think are hot. I'm not kidding. This guy, like, he said he had a threesome with Beyonce and somebody else.
17.
Yeah.
This was not me. I wasn't 17.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm saying I knew I was in a lucid dream. I don't know how I got into it. And going back to you, like the nose holding thing.
Trigger.
I was able to trigger it by like turning in a 360 degree circle. I don't know why. That would just like, that's what they said to do in the article, and that would like ground me, and I'd be like, okay, I know I'm in a dream because I did that.
Yeah.
It's like the Inception thing where you have like your little thing that indicates if you're dreaming or not. Which is kind of, I don't know, they got that right.
Sort of. Yeah, another one, for anyone who's interested to like trigger a lucid dream, another one people say to do is like look at your hands and like count your fingers, because your hands won't look like your hands in a dream usually.
Yeah, they'll look like feet.
Could look like feet.
They could look like... Anyways.
So, just to get to the very end of my thing real quick about these like video game dreams. So, the last one I had, one that I woke up like thinking was funny was so yeah, like I was saying, they've gotten very like level designy. So in the last dream I had, it was that same type of thing where, well, actually it was a little bit different, but in any case, I think I know exactly what triggered it actually. So someone, I think Andy McClure had been tweeting about how like...
Who's that?
She's just she's like a game designer. But
okay.
She was tweeting about how she could never buy in like a Final Fantasy game, especially like the older ones, like the Super Nintendo ones, how you'll like go into this like big city and it's like 20 buildings and like 6 people, and you're supposed to buy that it's like this huge bustling city. Mm-hmm. So I think that was the seed of it in my head. So I was imagining like this like 3D like series of like shacks or something, and I was like thinking about how it was just like a prop in the dream, like there wasn't anything inside of them, and I was thinking about how like that was supposed to represent some like larger buildings or something. But then what happened was another a game designer, Robert Yang, who he's done some game design stuff, and he teaches game design at the NYU Game Center. He has this YouTube series called Level With Me, where he just like plays through first-person games and like talks about the level design, and he'll like go into like the wireframe mode and like look at how like
How it's set up.
how things were made with like polygons and stuff. So he always has himself in like the bottom right corner on like a webcam, like green screened into the bottom. So he was in my dream, analyzing the level design of my dream. Of my dream. It was really. He was like explaining like how they would have constructed it and all this. And I woke up and I was like, "This is the fucking. I can't believe this is what my dreams are now." It's just like. It's not. I don't know. Something you brought up Inception. Something that people said like when that movie came out that I really agree with was like in the way Christopher Nolan sets it up. It's like this very rigid, like this is what a dream is. This is blah blah blah. Like real dreams are nothing like that.
Yeah.
They're never the same thing.
No.
And it varies from person to person a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that, when I had that dream, I was just like, why are my dreams just this one thing now? Where it's like me going into a space and like thinking about what the objective is and how it was constructed, to the point where there's literally a guy green screen in the bottom talking to me about it.
You gotta solve those problems.
Yeah.
This is kind of a tangent.
Sorry, that was all my stuff. You guys can take over now if you have more dream experiences you want to talk about.
So you were, and Stanley, if you want to go next, I just wanted to bring this up. So going back to what you were saying about how, like, in older, like, NES games, there were, like, I don't know, like, quaint little cute towns that were supposed to be, like, big cities. And I think that was, like, a way better way of approaching it than it is now. Like, Final Fantasy 15, I don't want to go to an actual fucking city. It's, like, so boring. Like, why would you put the... Or I feel like any Final Fantasy game, like, even Final Fantasy 9, I'm like, this is too big. Like, I don't want to explore all this.
I think the only games... The games that go totally in the opposite direction from like the old like representational way, in a way that I think works in a sense, is the Assassin's Creed games. If you guys have played those, where a lot of times, like the whole point of the game, like the value you're getting out of the game is mainly that some artist went through and like super hyper realistically recreated like Rome. From the Renaissance.
And it's great because you have the ability to traverse spaces that are not traversable in real life. Because you're like this, whatever. This crazy
so I think that's the value in the total opposite.
60 gigabyte, like, I don't know, 200-hour explorative experience. Like, it's just, like, who the fuck has that time? And why would you spend your time doing that? Like, anyways, go ahead, Stan.
No, that's well, I don't even remember what I was going to say, really.
Lucid dreaming, dreams you've had recently.
Well, I feel like my dreams are mostly...
So I talked about a lot about the like reoccurring like structures and things of my dreams, which is a lot of like exploring places I've never been.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't talk about is there's a lot of like trying to travel somewhere and like never getting there, like on the freeway or like using some weird like tunnel system or like
it's my dreams have gotten to the point where I feel like I usually know what they're about if I remember them,
like relating to your real life.
Like it's not just like some bizarro thing. Like when I was younger, like there was a bunch of dreams that I'd be like, oh, that was like an insane thing that happened in my dream, and then I would just. But lately my dreams have been much more closely related to events or something that's happened in my life. Or, I think there are definitely banal dreams still that I have, but like that. And also when they are like that, I feel like I recognize them as representational. And that... in my dream, like while I'm dreaming, I recognize, like I'm thinking the dream I'm thinking of most now is my grandmother. She died like last year, actually pretty much exactly last year. She died December 22nd last year, and
damn,
I've had like a recurring dream about her, but every time I'm in that dream, I'm so aware that it is a dream that I just want to know what is know what all the symbols are, like essentially. Like I don't know, and there's a lot of them that I don't figure out or don't know, but like that dream becomes lucid in that I am kind of
lucid in its
looking,
understanding.
lucid in its understanding. I don't know if it's lucid in
Like how you would experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's that thing I was saying that it's like this fine line between like I'm looking for certain things, but if I like try and look somewhere I'm not supposed to or try and go somewhere I'm not supposed to, then like it will not function because it's kind of like I have to be in the passenger's seat of the dream.
I totally
it doesn't
understand that because what I was trying to get at earlier is I don't know, I had like a series of like 2 or 3 lucid dreams and I kind of just like was in one and was like, this is really boring, like this isn't the point of this or something. Like that's basically what I thought. I was just like, I was flying around and I was like, this, it's not even like hedonistic, it's just that's like the only thing you want to do that you can't do in real life, or like swim underwater, and which is basically the same thing. Or I don't know. There was just a point where I was lucid dreaming and was just kind of like, I kind of wish I'd just gone along with the ride. Like I think the whole thing was set up for me, and I just kind of like exited stage left, you know?
And you're like, great. No,
and you exit into a space, and it's crazy. Like you exit into a space that's not like, you're not supposed to go there.
Yeah.
Like it's not constructed correctly.
Yeah, that happens. That happens, like my dream breaks. What happens a lot is I will have a really good dream, and then I feel like while I'm dreaming, I'll be excited because I'm like, oh shit, like this is like, something is happening.
Those, like, once every year dreams where it's like,
like something monumental is happening in your dream, and then you recognize that, and then it just fucks up because you recognize it. You're just like, and then you go to another part of your dream and like, oh, I don't want this. Like, you're just like,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know. That, but that. I mean, I feel like.
So give an example, like if you can remember one.
Of
one where you're like, oh, this is really monumental, I'm glad this is happening, and then you go somewhere
and then
like,
it goes away.
Yeah. If you can remember.
I will have to think about that.
Okay.
I can't remember.
I can start with whatever I want to say. So, recently the most, I don't know, vivid and exciting dreams to me is I've been having, I guess, premonitions. Like, I've been predicting the future about things that are...
This is why I wanted to talk. Yeah, this is what I thought our main topic was going to be.
I've been predicting, like, really banal things that are, like, but uniquely identifiable. Like, something happens so odd that... It's not deja vu. I think deja vu is like a... Maybe like a premature version of what I'm experiencing. Because I think, like, deja vu, like, the feeling is maybe you had a dream and you forgot it, and you're experiencing it again. Okay. But this, I'm like, I actively have the dream and I experience the event, like, months later.
Really?
So the two ones I vividly remember, I think it's happened, like, 5 times.
Wow.
So the 2 ones I can remember, and it's nothing important. I don't predict, like, a stock going up. Or I don't predict, or like who's going to win the presidency, or like anything of any value that to any practical importance. Sure. So I was in like my friend's attic, and I was in a band with some guys for a little bit, just like a jam band. And I had a dream that my friend came out of the attic restroom and his fly was down. And I said, hey, your fly's down. You need to zip that or something. Like, hey, like, zip up your fly. So I had the dream that happened. I'm like, why did that happen?
But you distinctly remember having it and reacting.
Having that dream and being like, that was what? That was stupid. That was such a stupid dream. 3 months later, that happened.
Yeah.
Like, I was in that house, in the attic, and my friend came out of his restroom and zipped, like, I'm like, hey, your fly's down. And I go, oh, fuck. I dreamed that. I was like, I dreamt this happening. The only other time I can remember, I think there's been some more, was, and this one I was like, this was a bizarre dream. This is never, like, I can kind of have, like, I vaguely know now when it's going to be predictive. I'm like, because it's always, like, pointless details in, like, a social situation. It's really odd. So the other one was all I remember is having a t-shirt judging competition with like people were constructing t-shirts on like a screen or somehow like constructing t-shirts and we were judging them. And I was distinctly remember this because I was like, what was my dream? We made t-shirts and you judge them, like you rate them or somehow. I think this might have been like a year ago. And in November, we played a game called, I forget what it's called, that Steam game.
The Jackbox t-shirt game?
There's a Jackbox t-shirt game where everyone hooks their phone up to Steam. And what you do in the game is you construct t-shirts and you vote on them on your phone. And the whole time it was happening, I was flipping out. Because I'm like, this is crazy.
Like, this is so
crazy. And I'm like,
wow.
And the only reason I remember it happening is because it was just like things I never imagined happening, but they happened. And it was months, or I think that one was like a year in advance. I'm not kidding.
That is,
So yeah, I can predict the future, baby.
I mean,
I don't think I've ever had that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing like that.
I mean, it's hard to be a seer. Many people in my neighborhood often call me the witch doctor. Other types of dreams I mainly have are stress dreams, anxiety dreams, where I'm just kind of like, I think, subconsciously working through something traumatic that I've been... and like a very...
I had one of those.
Like a textbook Freudian sense of like what you learn in your intro to psych course, but also actually working out. Go ahead.
Have you ever had a dream where someone in the dream just like straightforwardly like confronts you about something that you've been like keeping a secret from other people or like hiding from yourself? Or someone
I remember
else
you
just
telling me about this.
Hey, you need to get right with blah blah blah, and you're like, what? How did you even know this?
That's definitely happened. Yeah.
No, I don't think that's happened.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I was in medical school. For those that are listening, I have a lot of dreams. I've had a lot of dreams about med school, and that's like if you're the wrong person for that career, that's a very trapping, like it's a lifestyle you feel trapped in because you have to go to med school, you have to go to residency, you're going to be working like 80-hour weeks or I don't know, a long time the rest of your life. And just that stress was like constantly weighing on my head, and like also the anxiety of like, should I leave? Should I stay in this? I eventually withdrew from med school. But I'll get back into that state.
Right.
And like I'm in like my nightmare is the fact that I'm back in med school.
Yeah.
Which is
that's
crazy.
The classic like, oh, I'm back in middle school dream. But
I had that exact dream during finals. I was like writing my papers, and I had a dream that I was like I think I was in college actually, but I just like had
to
an
write
exam.
A paper.
No, it was an actual exam, like I just didn't know anything on it. It was like classic, like
I've had a lot of dreams in terms of exams where I've cheated on something and I get caught, and I'm like, oh, career's fucked, my life's screwed up, oh my god, and I wake up, I'm like, they didn't catch me.
This is something. So here's something else
cheat.
I wanted to talk about. One thing that's happened to me is I'll have a dream where like, either I do something bad or something bad happens.
Yeah.
And I wake up and I've forgotten about the dream, but I just like feel like shit.
Yeah.
And like, it's just unidentifiable to me. And I'm just like, emotionally I feel bad. Like, I don't want to face the day. And then I start like thinking back. I'm like, why do I feel like this? And then I remember it was like, oh, I like killed somebody in a dream or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a dream.
I don't think I've killed anybody.
Yeah, I don't know
dream.
if I have either. Well, actually, not true. I've told you about this dream before. I'll describe it in detail because it's insane and kind of funny to me. So this was an early, well, not early. It is sort of a video game dream. So I had this dream sometime in the last year where I was like, have you ever had a dream where you're like controlling someone who's not you, and you know they're not you, and you're like,
I've had a vague feeling of
I don't
doing
know.
that.
That's the only
Not
sense
in like
this was a video game.
a
dream
decade.
for- So, okay, I was controlling a character that I describe as Insane Bowling Ball Man. Have I told you about this?
No.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
I remember this.
I have told you
You
this.
killed people.
So here's what happened. So Insane Bowling Ball Man. So I'm Bowling Ball Man, and I, as the dreamer, I don't like it. I don't want to be this guy.
Yeah.
So what I do is, in the dream, I'm walking through a hallway, I'm holding a bowling ball, my guy has this sort of like insane smile on. What I think he reminds me of is, do you remember the episode of Rugrats where they see the like adult, the like, there's like a fake Chucky or something who has this
that
like
sounds
crazy
terrifying.
face? It was the scariest episode of Rugrats. Anyway, it was inspired by the scariest episode of Rugrats. So I have this bowling ball, and I like see a guy, and I like lock onto the guy, and this guy like crazy bowling ball man like wheels his arm back, throw like in stupid reference. You know how in Wii Bowling, your guy will like bring the ball all the way back and then forward and then like pop the ball off his fingers in an arc. So he did that, and
it killed people.
He pops the bowling ball into and it goes up in the air and it hits this guy square on the top of the head, and I get this like Mortal Kombat like zoom in on the guy's face. The bowling ball hits the top of his skull and it just like crushes downward and his eyes pop out. It was the most like gruesome, like graphic thing.
Fallout that system.
They just like pop, like Fallout Vats, and I'm like, that is fucking disgusting. Why am I this guy? Why am I controlling? Like, I hate this shit. So then I like walk my guy outside, and I'm like, I'm done with this. I don't want to be bowling ball man anymore. I have another bowling ball for some reason, so I threw it. I'm like, I'm getting rid of this. If I don't have the bowling ball, I can't like see this again.
Bowling ball man.
So the bowling ball goes rolling down the hill, and I don't see. There was a herd of deer at the bottom of the hill, and it starts like hitting their legs and like graphically like breaking their legs, and they can't walk anymore. And I woke up and I was like, what in my brain generated this like disgusting, like sick, like graphic bowling ball man? But at the same time,
interesting.
The concept of this guy was really funny to me. His
hilarious.
like crazed face and.
Have you ever had a dream where you can't find clothes?
One of my most common dream types is I'm in a bathroom and I don't know how it works.
Ooh.
It'll be some like weird
It's like
bathroom.
real life for me.
It'll be like
That is real life.
So, yeah. I can't, or I'm like trying to go to the bathroom, but every time I like go in a room, like people are in there, and I'm like, I have to pee. I have to find some place to pee, but there's like people everywhere. And I'm in some like bizarre bathroom where every stall is different, and like every time I open one up, it'll be like I'm like getting ready to pee, and then it'll be like open up to another side, and someone's looking at me, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know why this is something that happens to me all the time.
Maybe something traumatic happened in a bathroom.
I don't think so.
Maybe as like a little kid, you like went to the bathroom and you're like, what the fuck do I do?
I mean, I do that as an adult.
I don't know what it was.
You know that the hand dryer? I thought that was a toilet once.
Yeah.
Anyways, I had a dream I couldn't find clothes, and I felt like I was in that dream for like a day. Like walking around my neighborhood, everyone's clothed. I'm just naked.
Yeah.
And
I've had that.
terrifying. That's the most terrifying thing, because everyone's like, "Am I going to get arrested? Am I gonna get attacked?" And I'm walking around, and this is the craziest thing. I would find clothes and put them on, and I would be naked again later. Like it wasn't. I couldn't escape it. And there was some kid. There was like a super jockey kid in our school who was like on the football team. I shouldn't say jockey. I hate that word. It was a kid we wouldn't typically hang out with. I'll say that. Like on the football team, muscular, cool, and we were just like talking about dreams one day at our tables, and like a library table, and all of a sudden he just goes, "Hey, have you ever had a dream where you're just naked all the time?" That was really funny.
Yeah. I think that's a really common one.
I bonded with that dude.
I've gotten to the point where if I have a dream like that, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I have no shame. Whatever, it's a dream.
I think shame has definitely left my dreams. Anything that happens, I'm not ashamed.
I'm trying to think about.
So my latest stress dreams the latest stress dream I had was credit card debt. I thought I accrued like 30 grand in credit card debt.
Jesus.
And I was like, holy crap, what am I going to do? And in the dream, I mean, I had no parents. I had no financial stability, like no anything. And there was nothing that came of it either.
Yeah.
Like, it was just this stressful factor of like, oh, I have credit card debt. Uh-oh, debt. Uh-oh. Like, nothing, there was no, like,
just that
loan
one
shark
thought.
lurking at my door. It was just like, what am I going to do? I can't buy a car. I can't get a loan. And I woke up and I'm like, I checked my fucking bank account when I woke up and I'm like,
Oh.
you know that feeling? You're like, you think it's so real that you do something to, like, reassure yourself it's not.
Something that's happened, this is since the advent of cell phones, and especially smartphones, is all the time I'll have dreams that I, like, wake up in the middle of the night
I'm good.
and either send or receive a text message that I think is real. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, that didn't happen. Like, I'll just have whole conversations with people via, like, text or, like, chat room, like Discord or something.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, that didn't happen. But it could have happened because there are times where I, like, wake up before I usually do or something, look at my phone and, like, half asleep send out a text to somebody responding to something.
I know what you mean. Let's talk about nightmares. Unless you want to
Yeah, I want to
bring up what you were
get into
going to
that
talk about, Stan.
real quick.
What was I going to talk about?
I don't think
you really delved into your dreams.
Yeah, you did.
Well, you did, but when we got to you, like, when it was your turn to, like, talk about anything
Hey,
you
don't
wanted
put
to.
pressure on him. If he does,
Stan's going to have a dream. I'm going to dream right now.
he's in his podcast.
Well, no, I mean, I just...
Or you had, like, an example earlier or something.
I had an example of, like, my grandmother. Well, I guess I could explain what that was.
No, it was a...
Walking
Oh,
off
like
stage.
something that
Yeah.
happened.
Something where you, like,
An
exited the
important
dream
and then I left it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still can't remember what exactly
It's all good.
that was.
Yeah,
But-
let's talk. You want to talk about nightmares?
Let's talk about nightmares.
I've had some this week that I can't remember. The worst. So, I have sleep paralysis a lot.
Are you just in bed?
Yeah, I have had that where I like scream myself awake. That happened. So this happened not long ago. I think I told you guys.
Sorry,
about
I'm
this
laughing.
Too.
It's just
no,
funny
it
to
is
me.
funny. It's funny. It's not because it's not real. So I have sleep paralysis not frequently, but like every once in a while.
I think
I
about
have
the
since
third
I'm
beer.
a kid. Go for it.
I'm going to have to stay a little longer.
So
What time is it?
I had this experience where I was having a dream where I was like. I was like walking home from somewhere, and I was like in this like dark like courtyard, and all of a sudden I like see this like shadowy figure, and I just know he's gonna
You just know.
he's gonna kill me,
Yeah.
or he's gonna attack me.
You're like, this is one of those
Like
guys.
it was like a normal like walking somewhere dream, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, oh, that guy's here to kill me. So I tried to snap myself out of it, and I woke up partially into like a sleep paralysis state.
Yeah.
This is the only time I know a lot of people who have sleep paralysis will frequently like wake up and like see things in their room. That's never happened to me until this time. I was like, I opened my eyes, I'm in my room, but the shadow guy is still there. And then I just like screamed.
That's the most terrifying thing I've
And
ever heard.
I don't know if I actually screamed.
Shadow, it was Bowling Ball Man.
No, it wasn't. I don't know if I screamed actually, but it felt like I don't know. I've had dreams a lot where I like
Woke up screaming.
I'm like trying to scream and I can't make a noise.
That's rough.
Which is bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, then I woke up and it was like 5 a.m. and I was like, I'm not going back to fucking sleep, so I just went to work early because I was like, I just like took a shower, got myself ready, and went to work and like left early that day because I was like, fuck no, I'm not going.
There's a documentary about sleep paralysis called
Nightmare?
The Nightmare,
Yeah.
which is the only movie I've watched and just had to fucking turn off. I was so freaked out. This is about sleep paralysis and explores like I don't even want to think about it.
Was the Shadow Man a similar one to the?
There
ones
is
that they
a
described?
common like shadowy figure people
But
see.
that's what
it
you
wasn't
saw?
an exact like thing.
But he never does anything to you, right? He just stands there.
I guess
Some
so.
people say
Well,
like it hurts them, right?
There's
No,
dreams where people
there's-
they're like
One of the
They
guys.
dream of people like choking them, and I'm like, fuck this.
No, this
I'm not-
happened to me recently where I felt in like the last week I had a dream where someone like smacked me in the face or something and I really felt it.
Yeah.
It's Mika.
One of the worst dreams I've had, it was after I saw the nightmare. Yeah, a major part of this documentary is this guy who started to feel like real pain in his dreams. So this happened to me. So this is one of the weirdest dreams I've ever had. So in the dream, I was presented with this like wetsuit. Someone showed me this wetsuit, and they're like, someone got attacked by a shark wearing this. And if you touch the part of the wetsuit to the part of your body that it was touching on them or whatever, you feel what they felt when the shark attacked them. And then they put part of the wetsuit on me, and I like felt the shark attacking me.
This was in the dream?
Yes.
What the
Which is
fuck?
such a weird conceit
So
that
weird.
my brain just like thought up.
See, that's why I'm like...
Like if they touch the leg of the wetsuit to your leg, you feel the
That's
shark
why I
like
think-
biting
That's
your
why I
leg.
think lucid dreams are overrated, because how do you come up with that? Your brain's just like picking things out of
That
the
was
hat, like,
crazy.
alright, let's put that together, let's put that together.
Yeah.
The craziest, I think I've had like 2 nightmares that have stuck with me.
Let's just go through the scariest dreams if you guys have.
So I used to
or
live
want
in New-
share them.
I used to live in New Jersey, and these dreams have left such an imprint on me. Before I was like 6, I had these dreams when I was like 4 or 5. So there was one dream I was just like riding in the car with my parents, having like a great time, just riding. And my mom, like, all of a sudden just turns around to me, has like Nickelodeon googly eyes, and fucking looks like a monster, and just like,
Michael, have you seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure as a kid?
no.
That happens in that movie.
Maybe that's where I got it from.
Maybe you saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Because
I
that
don't
is
know.
Large Marge. That's what she does. Literally, she's like... Great. By the way, sidebar, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, great movie. It's really good.
Okay.
It's like him hitchhiking. It's a road movie. There's a point in the movie where he gets picked up by this like middle-aged woman trucker named Large Marge, and she's like starts telling him this story. She's like, yeah, a long time ago there was this grisly car crash, blah blah blah, and then like the end of the story she says like, and by the time they pulled him out of the wreckage, his face looked like this, and then her face just like, yeah, exactly what you said, like Nickelodeon's out, like
so
claymation,
scary.
like
I was like scared to look at my mom because I thought she was gonna be Nickelodeon face. Another
man.
one, dude. You have these scariest nightmares when you're like 5.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. Like the scariest, and why? It's always like,
Because you don't know better.
but it's like archetypal shit of like. Like it's stuff you learn about later in life, like, oh, a vampire came down the hallway, or a ghost. Like, there was one dream.
It's ancestral memory.
I was walking down like a human-sized sewer pipe, and there's like water rushing down the drain, and already as like a 5-year-old, I'm like, come on. Like, what the fuck is this? And there's a corner at the end. Like, I remember being 5 years old and being like, I'm like walking down the sewer pipe. I'm like, something's gonna come out. Something's around the corner, and then something came around the corner. I'm like, oh my god! It was the scariest looking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like a hooded, like white faced, just demon, and I'm just like. Like, if you showed a 5-year-old that in, like, waking life, you would be put in prison. So scary.
That's good.
Stalin,
you got any you want to share? Or?
Well, I feel like my nightmares are very kind of banal. I mean, lately, especially, I get them still all the time, but they're kind of... They're very specific to my phobia, which is chickens. I'm terrified of chickens.
I have a chicken
I don't
farm.
know why.
Hey.
But,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's not... It's actually... It's not... Yeah, okay, whatever. I have a phobia of chickens, and
Hates him.
And every nightmare is just if there's a chicken
Covered in
in
chickens.
it, a chicken pecks me, a chicken gets too close to me. I just physically just everything in me just freaks
Because you
out.
played Ocarina of
Yeah,
Time.
in Ocarina of Time when you attack the
No,
chicken.
that's not what it was. I know what it was. It was when I was in India when I was really young. My
Uh-oh.
uncle
He's a chicken.
took me to because they don't have supermarkets. They just have
Yeah.
a place where chickens are in cages, and then a dude takes a chicken out and just like chops its head off
Yeah, and you
right
saw that
in
as
front
a kid.
of you. And I saw it. I was like,
So why would you
young
be scared
kid.
of the chicken? Why would you be scared of the knife?
Because it's
You're-
I'm not scared of the chicken. It's not that. It's the
Grotesqueness.
yes, the grotesqueness of all those chickens like in this caged disgustingness.
Yeah, I get it.
And then just all of it is just
Filthy.
horribly grotesque.
we're all
yeah, and-
we're all in a cage, man.
I mean, but those are my nightmares, and they're uninteresting. I mean, that's
That's
extent
it.
of them.
Chickens.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
That's
that's
the-
interesting.
Yeah.
I had a dream like 2 days ago that
So when Stanlin eats, when he gets a meal, rice and chicken, he's like, "Thank God,
No,
this thing's dead."
it's still like if I think about it too
What
much,
you're
eating
eating.
chicken is just like
hard.
not
yeah.
good.
Did you ever not used to be able to eat eggs? Or
No.
I still can't. I can, but it's not.
I
a
used to have
good
like
feeling.
a nauseating aversion to
Yeah,
eggs
I have that right now.
because I was like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, look at that thing."
Well, I don't think.
Oh.
I actually like how it looks. I just really don't like how it tastes.
I love
Yeah.
eggs.
Or I like how it tastes. It just gives me nausea. I don't know why.
I had a dream where I was eating spider, and that was disgusting. It was one of the grossest dreams I ever had. Anyway, I don't know. Should we wrap it up?
Wait, I got one more dream to talk about. I had a dream I was in like a Lord of the Rings-esque environment where it was a bunch of like orcs and like goblins
Uh-huh.
just stabbing each other. And I was sitting to the side of the dream. Like I was sitting to the side of the fight, like orcs and goblins were just going ham on one another. And I'm like, God, that looks horrible. And I was like, all right, time to get in there. And I had like a blade or something, and I came in, and a goblin just came up, fucking stabbed me immediately. I remember it being right here, and he was
Oh,
like,
like Christ.
"Ah!" And I'm like,
Like
oh,
Christ wounds.
I was like Christ.
Fuck these goblins.
So I stepped back and was like, I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
So let's wrap it up with some recommendations.
Yeah. Definitely.
I don't recommend LA Confidential. I watched that last night.
What was it? I want to remember. When you said you were watching LA Confidential, I was like, oh, I heard that was bad, but I don't want to put Michael off it. Somebody said it was super like anachronistic. Like they're just like talking like modern day people in the '60s, and it doesn't.
It's
is
like
that what it is
fucking
that's bad about it? I don't know.
dialogue from 60s pulp, like a 60s Pulp Fiction magazine. It was also just nothing. Nobody in that film was interesting.
Uh-huh.
I can't enjoy Kevin Spacey anymore. Guy Pearce was in it, which
Kevin
was cool.
Spacey. When you said that, I thought you meant Kevin James for a second. I was like, what the fuck?
Wow, they look exactly alike. I don't know. The only thing I took away from that movie is like how stupid the idea of a shootout is in a movie. Because
Hey, it was good in Heat.
a shootout, no, it's just this complex, like this male
Yeah.
complex
It's
of like
totally
I can get out of any
It's a
situation.
movie
Oh, like
construction.
that.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Any situation where there's like 3 people shooting at you, you're
Yeah.
dead.
That's one thing.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, like that.
A
Okay.
movie I've seen recently that's good about that is the Takeshi Kitano movie. Did I talk about this?
No.
Sonatine, or however you say this, Sonatina? I don't know how you pronounce it.
No idea what you're talking about.
We saw it on Netflix a long time ago. We didn't watch it, but we looked at it and
Oh.
thought about it.
Same thing.
It's this Yakuza movie about these Yakuza guys from Tokyo who have to go off to like, I forget where it is. It's this like beachside, like nothing happens here town for some complex, like obscure reason. And there's like nothing to do there. They just like hang out on the beach, but then occasionally there's just like people from the rival gang are just there and they fucking shoot at each other. Like there's this scene in the bar where they're like there's just a bunch of Yakuza guys at the bar just like hanging out, and they're like kind of concerned about these guys who've just come into the bar. Then all of a sudden these guys who are already sitting in the corner just like stand up and start shooting at them. And it's just literally like 3 guys on one side of the room and 3 guys on the other, all standing still shooting at each other until enough people are dead on one side that they're not shooting anymore. And it's just like, yeah, that is what would happen if someone like 20 feet away from you started shooting you in real life. You would just like try to shoot them.
It
And
lasts
then,
like 20 seconds.
yeah, it's
And
just like
Right.
pretty much everyone.
and
will
everyone
die.
else in the room is like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
So stupid.
Or just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's a scene in. Have you seen Romeo plus Juliet?
no,
It's like a modern take on Romeo plus.
yeah.
They replace like all they call
All the
guns
swords.
swords, and they
Yeah.
replace all like references to swords in that movie with guns. And I think like part of it just kind of clicked in my head. Like there's a part where they're at the beach and they're shooting. Like they're in the water and they're shooting at fish on like the Venice beach.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I guess that happened in the original play. Like guys were fishing or something like that. But
With their swords?
yeah, that doesn't make any sense either. I don't know what was going
highlights
on,
how ridiculous
but
it is, I guess.
I feel like the whole movie was so campy. It just like captured those shootout. It just approached them in such a funny way. I don't know, analytically.
I don't have anything.
I got a couple things actually directly related to this podcast that we just recorded. So the first is the blog, the Nightshirt, thenightshirt.com. This is the guy I was talking about earlier. His name is Eric Wargo. I forget what he is. I'm pretty sure he is some sort of professor. He has a new book out called Time Loops about... his big thing is talking about precognition and what he calls like retro causation, where like something in the future causes something to happen in the past.
Yeah. Okay.
Which he has a lot of great posts about like Twin Peaks, like that's a major theme in Fire Walk with Me, is like things from the end of the show affecting
What's
this
happening in the
prequel
beginning.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think it's
other movies too, like what's the name of that? Anyway, he has a lot of great posts. He ties it into like
does that
TV
happen
shows
in
and
Mulholland
movies.
Drive?
Maybe.
Definitely happens in Fire Walk with Me.
But yeah, if you want a good post to start on there, I think I've linked this to you guys before. I'm not sure if you read it. He has this post called "What Was Your Original Face on Mars? Zen and the Prophetic Sublime," and it's about.
Oh, I remember you sending that to me.
Have you? So
It was so long. I was
yeah,
like,
it's pretty long, but it's about. I don't know if you guys remember. There was this like quote unquote like face on Mars people saw on these NASA
Yeah.
photographs.
Yeah.
Where it looked like there's this giant constructed like mega structure of a face.
Yeah.
It turned out to just be like a mountain, and if you took a picture from a different angle, it didn't look like anything. But this Japanese American artist, 11 years before, had made this sculpture that looks like remarkably like what you see in the photo of the face on Mars.
yeah.
And he just talks about that and how like, a lot of times his big thing is like he doesn't see precognition as like it's just kind of like a like joyous thing that can happen where you you just recognize that something that you have you're seeing something that you knew was going to happen, and that's it. And it's like it could just be a coincidence and whatever.
And I think we're kind of in an age where everyone wants to figure everything out. Everyone wants to break down things into parts, and that's just maybe forever going to be one of those things that, I mean, yeah, just experience it and accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The other thing I wanted to recommend is, I think I might have recommended this before. It's the movie Personal Shopper. Have I recommended it before?
I've seen it, but yeah.
I saw it again recently.
Oh,
I saw it
nice.
again this week.
Terrifying.
It's a really good movie. It has a lot about... It's the same themes. I mean, it's about spiritualism. The fucking Matthew thing, Tulpa thing was kind of a play on how they...
Wait, what thing?
I need to rewatch
Remember
that.
she watches the like Victor Hugo documentary where it's like knock one time for yes, knock two times for no to communicate with spirits. But another thing that happens in that movie early on is she sees this there's some kind of art exhibit about this woman. This is a real artist who made all this art in like the 20s. I forget what her name is. I think Van Klimt or something? I think I'm getting the name confused. But she made all this art that looks exactly like modern, like abstract art that would come like 40 years later, and none of her paintings were shown until after she was dead, like 20 years after she was dead.
Yeah.
But all her work is like strikingly, like you would totally believe it was made at the exact same time as all these like modern, like abstract artists.
I vaguely remember that movie being about, like, I didn't look too deeply into it. I should have read more about Personal Shopper, but it was like, I don't know, undecipherable forces communicating something to you, like, tangible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Stanley, you don't got anything?
I don't got anything.
What about
Stanley recommends driving a Tesla.
Shiner
I don't-
S'mores?
Well, yeah, it's an experience.
Yeah, Shiner S'mores.
That was good.
It was interesting.
All right, Mind Motors. See ya
This is
later.
Matthew. I'm also here, over here.
Oh wow, I guess
From a
he's
different
He's been
location.
here the whole time.
here again.
He's been
What? So you had
If you want, you may ask me yes or no questions.
again.
so you never left?
No.
Is the podcast over?
What? Is the podcast over?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Thanks.
okay. So then, what do we say if the podcast is over?
See ya later.
Unfortunately, I must now be off. Goodbye.
All right, bye guys. Till next
See ya.
time.
No, we're not.
That was good.
Oh, an hour and a half.